everyone and welcome back to my channel. It feels like so long since I've sat here and spoken to camera. I think it was Haul Week was the last time and it's just been such a whirlwind since then, but I'm back today with a Get the Look video, which again is something that I haven't done in such a long time. But I was so excited and inspired when the new Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie came out because first of all, I love Margot Robbie. She is to me like the most beautiful woman in the world. I love her. And of course, Sharon Tate has been a huge beauty and especially hair icon for me as well for such a long time. So when the two came together and I started seeing all the campaign shots and the posters with that amazing outfit, I was just like, oh my god, I have to do a video on this. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this hair and makeup look inspired by Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you are new, and let's get started. So I really felt like the look is more about the hair and the style rather than the makeup. So I don't want to spend too much time on the makeup, although I did really love Margot Robbie's makeup in the film and all like the campaign shots. It's so fresh faced, but like a really soft touch of Hollywood glam, very LA and sun-kissed and natural, which is like my favorite kind of makeup. So I'm starting off with clean skin, of course, and I'm just going to pop a few drops with the new Paris oil. It's the 8 Flower Golden Nectar oil and it really is so gorgeous. I've had it for like a week and used that much already because I've been using it twice a day, and it just gives your skin like a golden glow, which is really nice for the LA sun-kissed look that we're going for. I'm going to double prime today. This is something I have been doing recently because I feel like different areas of my face need a different prime. So I'm going to start off with the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, which honestly is like this balm that feels amazing. And I'm just going to pop this in kind of like the oilier areas of my face where my makeup comes off. And this is just going to really smooth them out and make the makeup stay really nicely. And of course, for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I had to use my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've been using this since it came out like a year and a half ago, almost every day. And I'm just gonna pop this on my cheekbones and like a little down my nose, forehead, just to give my face like a really nice glow. Just gonna give my brush a little spray and blend that in. Then for foundation, I'm using my all-time favorite that I always end up coming back to, and that's the YSL Touche Éclat foundation, which is just my favorite. I'm just gonna do a couple of little squirts around my face, and then I'm just gonna spray my brush again with my setting spray. This is my Clinique foundation brush. It's the only brush I use. I have four, literally, because it's my favorite brush. And then I just gently buff this in like small circles, and it's just the most beautiful texture. It looks so radiant on the skin. I get so many compliments when I wear this foundation, like, oh my god, your skin looks so good. And this makeup is just supposed to be really like fresh and glowy. Then just to tackle any under eye darkness and also do some facial highlighting, I'm going to use the YSL Touche Éclat little concealer. So I'm going to pop this like on my under eyes to start, and then just use what's left on the brush to do a little highlighting on my cheekbones. I'm going to do the jawline as well, brow bone, and then just bounce it all in with a damp beauty blender. Mine is injured. Next, I'm going to contour my face because both Sharon Tate and Margot Robbie have very defined bone structure, and this is really easy to like fake or just accentuate what you have. So I'm going to obviously use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood contour one because it's Hollywood again, and also I've used this every single day since it came out, which was 2 years ago. As you can see, I only did a really tiny amount because it's really easy to go overboard with that product and it kind of ruins the whole look. So I'm just going to buff this in now with my Clinique brush. And I'm just bouncing over it with my beauty blender that has the concealer on because I just want to kind of like tone it down a little bit because she doesn't like look super contoured. It's just supposed to be subtle. So now my base is done. I'm just keeping it really fresh and natural. I'm going to powder it down to set it and also kind of airbrush it. I'm using my favorite powder in the whole land, and it's the YSL Soufflé Declat powder. I've been using this on my channel for years and years and years. I use it every single day. It's just one of my favorite makeup products of all time. I really like how my cheekbone, like brow bone, is still quite highlighted just from the Touche Éclat and not using like a shimmery highlight, because they definitely, I don't think they did that back in the 60s, and it just looks a lot more natural. I'm just going to go over my contour the tiniest bit just to bring it out again with some Hoola bronzer from my Benefit palette. Literally just like a tiny little brush, mainly along the jawline. And then that's it. I really don't want to go overboard on the contour because she just looks so, so natural. And I'm just going to give that a little spritz with some MAC Fix Plus. Oh my god, I love setting spray. Now for brows, I was actually quite surprised when looking at pictures of the makeup up close that the brows were actually really defined. I kind of thought they were going to be a little bit more natural, but I love a defined brow, so it's absolutely fine. You guys can take one guess at which product I'm going to use. Again, I've been using this since it launched, which is over 2 years ago now. No, a year and a half. Anyway, it's the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. I use mine in the shade Blonde. So I'm just going to brush my brows upwards. This just gives you the most defined brows quickly. I usually do like a line across the bottom and then just upward strokes to fill it in and then brush it out. So I think they look pretty good. So as always, I'm going to set them with my Benefit 3D Brow Tones. It's like a tinted setting gel that's a little bit lighter. So it kind of like catches all the hairs and adds a little bit of highlight and just makes them look a lot more full. So now for the eyes, I feel like in real life Sharon Tate had a lot more like cool, wild 60s eye looks, but it's kept quite tame in the film, like quite natural and simple. It feels like it's more about the definition of the eye rather than the look of eyeshadow. So it's all like matte browns and like really kind of neutral tones. So I'm going to use the Tartelette Amazonian Clay Matte Palette because it has a really nice selection of matte browns to choose from. So I think I'm probably going to go for this one, which is Wanderer, like in the crease, just to like define the eye shape, and then maybe this one, which is Free Spirit, which is just like a really nice pale neutral colour like on the lid, because that's kind of what it looks like she has in the pictures. It's hard to see, but it's something just really simple like that. I'm using like the lightest hand in the world and only really going like there, not the whole way, and not even creating like an outer V like we normally do. It literally looks like she just has a little bit of definition in the crease and then that's it, which I feel like we don't really do these days, but I think it looks quite nice. And then just for the finishing touch, I'm taking this tiny little like pencil brush and taking that first brown shade, and I'm just going to do a little along the lower lash line just because I feel like it kind of looks like that in the picture, but really, really softly and gently. And obviously I'm not going to be putting any mascara on because I have lash extensions on. By the way guys, I get them done at Prima Lashes in London and they are just the best. I have brown ones. So now all that's left for the makeup is lips, my favourite part of makeup, and it's going to be no surprise that I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner because I use it every single day and I don't use any other lip liner because it's just the best colour. It stays on like for ages. Even when your lipstick wears off, the lip liner is still there. Like, it's amazing. I really like to pop a little bit of lip balm on underneath my lipstick because my lips get super, super dry. So this is my favourite one. It's the Clinique Pep Start Pout Perfecting Balm, and it's just my favourite lip balm. I go through it quite a lot because I apply it so many times in a day. And the lipstick I'm using is actually my current everyday lipstick because I thought the colour was perfect, and it's one of the new Charlotte Tilbury ones. It's Dance Floor Princess. It's such a pretty nude. It's just amazing, and I'm going to apply this with a lip brush because you get a really beautiful finish when you do it like this. And I kind of want you to be able to see the line of the lip liner, like not really obviously like 90s Posh Spice, but kind of subtly see the two different tones. So this is the makeup done. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really similar to the makeup from the film, and it's just such an easy, like, wearable everyday look. I think the lip is really pretty. I'm really pleased with it. So now let's move on to the hair, the fun bit. So Sharon Tate's hair in real life, and also Margot Robbie's hair as Sharon Tate, is like my ultimate hair goals. It's so bouncy and full of life. It looks like they've had the perfect blow dry, although I did some research, and actually back in the 60s people weren't really getting blow dries the way we have them now. They were actually putting their hair in rollers wet and letting it dry, which is a genius idea that I'm actually going to try, although my hair takes so long to dry, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. But for today I am also going to use rollers. I'm going to use my heated rollers, which I have used a couple of times in my videos before. I bought these from ASOS, they're Babyliss, so I'll try and link them down below. I bought these like two and a half years ago or something, and I really love them. I feel like they work a lot better when my hair is a little bit shorter, like it is now. When my hair is really long, they don't work perfectly just because they drop out really quickly. But when my hair is a bit shorter and less heavy, they work really nicely and just give the perfect like look for this. So I was tricking you there with the headband for a little bit. I do still have my fringe, and although Margot Robbie doesn't have this fringe in the film, this is definitely a hairstyle that Sharon Tate has had at some point, and I think it really adds to that whole 60s look if you like it. But this hairstyle totally works without it, but I do think it really adds something. So I'm going to show you one or two, and then I'm going to speed it up. So I basically just take like medium sections of hair like that, starting at the front usually and working my way backwards and like downwards. And then I take one of the rollers, and damn, you can't see, but I basically just wrap my hair around the roller like this, and then bring it to my scalp and take one of the clips, which are also heated, and just like basically grip that to my head like that, without that little bit sticking out. So it is like the tiniest bit fiddly, but I think really it is just practice. Like once you get the hang of it, it just gets easier and easier, but it is quite tricky to begin with, so don't give up if you find it difficult at first. So my first two are done, and I just realised I forgot to do a step before, which is put some priming spray in. So this is the Virtue Volumizing Primer, which kind of just adds a little bit of body to your hair, which is exactly what we want. And you can spray it on dry hair as well. It's like a very fine mist, and then I think it kind of just works with the heat to style. So let's get the rest of these rollers in. So guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is really difficult to do without a mirror, so I'm just gonna go and do the rest off camera. But if you do want a more detailed tutorial on my heated rollers, I did a video in the summer not too long ago, so I'll link it down below, just about how I style my hair for every day. And then I go into a little bit more detail in that video. So if you guys really want to know how to do this, then go and watch that video after this. So now my hair is all up, I'm just gonna give it a little spray with some hairspray. This is the Ouai Volumizing Hairspray. And I'm just going to wait like 10-15 minutes for this to cool down, and then I will take it out and show you. So my hair is cooled down now. I also just sped it up a little bit with the cool setting on my hair dryer. So let's take these rollers out. So this is what the hair looks like now. It does look very big and curly, but it will drop a little bit, which is where we want it to be. I'm just going to tease the top with my little back combing brush to really get that 60s lift that makes this look really unique and identifiable. So I'm just taking small sections from the top of my head and just really softly back combing down to the roots. And that's just going to give it a really lovely subtle lift, which is exactly what we want. And for the finishing touch, I'm just going to spray some of the IGK Speechless Dry Oil Finishing Spray to give it a really glossy, polished look. And that is the finished look. I love it so, so much. I hope you do too. I think it's so wearable for every day, but it does have a little like retro glamorous feel, which I just love. It was so, so funny when I was in LA filming those clips at the beginning of the video, how many people like recognized the look. There was this guy that from across the street was like, "Oh, hey Sharon Tate, I see you, girl." And he was asking to take pictures of me. And there were so many people that were like, "We love your outfit, it's so Sharon Tate." I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this video, and I think this is how I'm going to have my hair and makeup for the foreseeable future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!